WL Louisiana political analyst Clancy Dubose. And before we talk about the fiscal administrator, Clancy, you said something just now that we heard from Jeff Landry, where there is a misconception that this loan would mean money out of the state, money from the state. Can you explain exactly what's happening here?
A couple of things that we need to make sure people understand what's going on here. First of all, the city's not getting a bond from the state. Okay, they're not asking the state for a bond. The city's asking for perfunctory state permission to sell bonds, which is the way government borrows money.
Right.
When government borrows money, they sell a bond, which is the same as a person going to a bank or a mortgage company and signing a mortgage.
Right.
You bond yourself, you commit yourself to pay back this money. So not one penny of state money would go into this city plan, okay? Nothing from the state, only perfunctory permission to sell the bonds paid back by city revenues, not state monies. The state would not have its full faith and credit on the line behind this.
Right.
It would purely come from the city. And that's why I think this is all a political move.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this.
It's pure politics, in my opinion. Let me tell you why. The governor also said New Orleans needs to be treated like everybody else. Well, Jefferson Parish is having enormous fiscal problems.
Right.
Not a peep out of Jeff Landry about a fiscal administrator for Jefferson Parish. Why not?
Well,
what's the difference? It's a bigger parish.
Yeah.
It's got big problems fiscally.
Right.
And yet, nothing.
Liz Murrill being adamant, we heard the council member say that she's adamant about this fiscal administrator, kind of that is her bottom line here. How much of this is political power struggle or a legitimate fiscal intervention? And if that fiscal intervention happens, what power would they have over the city of New Orleans?
Well, we could look at it two ways. Let's look at it politically, first of all. Liz Murrill is the most powerful woman in state government. And she probably deny it, but she clearly wants to be governor. Everybody in politics in Louisiana, everybody who knows anything about politics in Louisiana knows that Liz Murrill wants to be governor one day. This is the launch of her campaign. Against who? The most powerful woman in the city of New Orleans, who's also popular, a Democrat, attractive, articulate, a potential opponent. Although I can tell you, I don't think Helena Moreno has any aspirations to be governor. But Liz Murrill may not see it that way. It may just be that she wants to mine some gold out of this.
Right.
I think it's mostly political, but there is a legitimate fiscal crisis in the city of New Orleans, but the city should solve it. And we've been in this position before, by the way, where an outgoing mayor created or left a big hole in the budget for the mayor's successor. Dutch Montreal put Sidney Barthélemy in a giant hole, and what did Barthélemy do? They furloughed workers, they closed City Hall down for one day a week for several months,
right.
And they got through it. They tightened the belt, and people were inconvenienced, okay? Yeah. It's going to be an inconvenience, folks, but the city can get through this.
Yeah,
if the state doesn't want to let the city borrow the money and pay it back with city dollars, not one penny of state dollars, then that's on the state. Now, to the administrator, and this is really important, that administrator would have what's called plenary powers. Not plenty of powers, but plenary means everything. There would be no city charter.
Right.
That person could come in and abolish departments, cancel contracts, grant new contracts, hire people, fire people, change everything. And guess what? If Liz Murrill and the state treasurer, John Fleming, who is running for the U.S. Senate, and the state legislative fiscal auditor, the legislative auditor, want to come in and put this person in there, then guess what? They will own every pothole, every murder, every burglary, every fire, every flood.
Right.
Everything that goes wrong in the city, because when you have that much power, you are responsible for everything.
All right, Clancy, we're going to end it here. Hopefully
it's a dangerous game they're playing.
We are playing a dangerous game, and balancing the city autonomy as well as trying to protect it and have transparency is it's going to be an interesting situation. Clancy, thanks so much.
Happy to be here.